Hey everybody, XEI here. I'm pretty sure you can guess what this video is all about. It's the 1,000 subscriber milestone video. It's very exciting to have gotten to this point. I watched hours and hours and hours of footage over the weekend. I collected as much as I could and I cut it all up and I created as cohesive a timeline as possible that took clips from all of the vlogs that I've been recorded in the last 2.5 years for the channel, just to kind of illustrate the journey that the channel has been on and the influence of the community that made the channel become what it became. It wasn't what it is today when it first started on the yesteryear. So I wanted to kind of just put that all together and show that there was this cohesive journey along the way, and that, you know, the entire community was a part of how it developed and what it became, the sustainability behind it, the scalability behind it, the community engagement behind it. There's so many things that were being talked about as they were being discovered, because this was all new for me, and I wanted to try to get to a certain point that I had in my head, but until I sort of experienced it along the way, I couldn't really have an idea. I couldn't formulate what the channel would become. I think the solid foundation is now in place to do a lot of the things that have been talked about on the channel and in the comments over the last 3 or 4 months. I think the future has opened up some possibilities that may include other channels, other collaborations. I want to get into tabletop, and I'll just talk about it now. It's very likely I'll bring tabletop to this channel after Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't want any kind of distractions along the way, but I'm enjoying playing tabletop with other groups online, and I'm hoping to kind of expand on that over the next year. And I'm gonna leave the video to tell the rest, you know, because I'm just gonna repeat a bunch of stuff that's you're gonna have ample time to hear about it in the video that follows. And so without further ado, I'm gonna throw you into the deep end. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you once again for helping me achieve this goal. I can't say enough how personal it was, just because it's really hard for me to commit to things, and I believe the success came from the fact that the community that developed around this channel kept bringing me back. So enjoy the video, everybody. I'll talk to you later.
Searching for information.
I got to thinking about milestones in general. I mean, this channel is super new, right? But I've been watching a lot of milestone videos from the big YouTubers, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see that when you start a new channel, because like everybody starts somewhere, right? And it takes commitment to just kind of grow your channel out the way you want it and build the kind of community you want, and stay true to whatever vision you have for it.
My dog is not very attentive. I think his hearing is going. Look at him creeping. Mogwai, pay attention, buddy. No, you can't reach him. You done, buddy? You done? Okay. Come on. Bye, buddy. Here he comes. Oh.
XEI here. Just a quick little vlog about getting this my setup here for a Let's Play new series for Let's Play videos. I got my mic here, headphones ready to go, and there's my box here. This room is going to be the new studio room to set up this stuff. This is kind of neat. So hopefully we'll get some games going on here. I was doing 3 MMOs at a time, and then I went to Spore, and then I went cold turkey on video games for like 5 years. So, but I think to test, I'm going to use Spore. Just do some character creation, have some fun with that, and then go from there. Here we go. New Galaxy. Just installed Spore, game from 2008 from EA Games. I feel like I should just create a creature on this first go ahead. This game came around to thankfully pull me out of all those MMOs and focus on different life things for the next 5 years. So this was probably one of the last games I played, and then I had a 5-year hiatus. That was a good test. That was a good test run. You know what? This is almost, I don't even know if I want to play the game anymore. I'm just gonna make cool little creatures.
Ready? You gonna walk? You have an idea, you gotta just go for it. You can't second guess yourself, you know? You have to, if you got a plan, you gotta tell someone. You gotta do something like this. You gotta record it down. You gotta say it somewhere so that you can hold yourself accountable for being able to stick to your word.
Woo! My mama said.
All right, here we go. XEI here. Gonna be doing a Let's Play of Dragon Age Origins. This is gonna be my first Let's Play. I've always wanted to do Let's Plays in general, but Dragon Age in particular, maybe about 2 years ago, I finally picked up this game when I was starting to kind of get back into gaming after a hiatus, and I always wanted to make it this game that I did a Let's Play for. So I'm gonna be pretty green when it comes to Let's Plays in general. I hope that I come up with a way of doing this that is entertaining to folks who are joining along for the ride. I'm going to be going very slow here. I always start with this character called Xander, and I made this character maybe 15-20 years ago, maybe a little. Does that age me? The very first Xander I ever created is the basis for all Xanders that have come after. This is just another multiverse version. It's kind of like Marvel, you know, they have their alternate universes and parallel timelines and whatnot, and that's what we got here. Heyo everybody, XEI here for an introductory video to this channel. I like the idea of just doing things. I think YouTube is a huge venue for that, especially with inspiring folks like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye in particular. They're my biggest influences anyways. They showed me that you can create a YouTube channel for greater goals, right? And not for money and not for the fame. It's, you know, having just enough followers to be able to run a charity drive. That's my biggest motivation for this channel. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. So I'll get to that point someday with all of your help. But right now, I'm just enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying this trip. Please comment along the way, sharing the experience with me. My greatest memories are, having fun with roommates and friends, playing video games, just all together in a room and enjoying that and having that camaraderie. I think that we can achieve that in the digital ecosystem. YouTube is amazing for that. You see it all around. And so hopefully one day I'll be able to do that. And I'm really here for the enjoyment and the experience of it all. And hopefully you guys can join me. Hey everybody, XEI here from XEI Videos, XEI Gaming, XEI Vlogs, whatever this channel is. I'm not at 100 yet, so I haven't chosen my name, but I did get to 50 subscribers. That's a small milestone worth celebrating. I hope to get to 1,000. That's my personal goal. Obviously I would like to get higher than that, but I feel like 1,000 is like this unattainable number. I want to aim for something that I think I can work towards. It's not intimidating me because of, how big the goal might be. Here's the guy that sometimes you hear in the background of my video games. Maybe you don't, because I tried to cut it out as much as possible, but in any case, what was I saying about, I lose my train of thought quite regularly. I guess what I'm trying to say is I have a life outside of YouTube. YouTube is really kind of the side thing that I just want to do because I'm searching for something that allows me to express myself in ways that are meaningful to my life. In particular, the reason why I started gaming is because I had removed it from my life because I get very addicted to games and completing them and being a completist. And that really starts to eat away at my time. And so when I got a full-time job again, I had to commit to that sort of thing. I had to pull back. There's a woodpecker behind me somewhere around here. There's a pair of them there now. There's a pair of them here that, I don't know if you can see them. I can't see them in here, but maybe you can. Anyways, derailed myself again. I do love this channel. I do want to grow it. I put my time into this in evenings and on weekends. I've created a certain process for finding time to game, finding time to edit, finding time to upload to YouTube and interact with the community. And it's a sustainable pattern right now, which is what I'm most excited about because I didn't think I'd get to this sustainable model fast enough. I'm a product manager in my full-time job, and so I think about things in a product management way. So things like sustainability, things like scalability, stuff like that is important to a project and creating realistic goals. So that's what this channel is. Milestone video number 1. I guess I had a parody one for Milestone for 1 subscriber, but it was a video about milestones in particular and the importance of having them, because again, you want to set goals that you want to try to achieve. And thanking all of you guys for coming along for the ride. And I'm using Tetris ice blocks in my drink just because I was got to get my nerd on. Hey everybody, XEI here for a vlog. This one is especially special for me because it's the 100 subscriber vlog. I didn't think it would come this early. A month ago it was the 50 subscriber milestone, so this was important because you get your own damn URL, and I didn't even know what I wanted to pick for my URL. I ended up going with XEI Gaming. XEI is my nickname. It's the middle part of my last name. My last name is Teixeira, so T-E-I-X-E-I-R-A. Long story short, I came up with 3 words to try to summarize everything I wanted to do this year, and I wanted those words to tie back into XEI, and so I came up with explore, engage, and inspire, and that's why you guys hear me saying that as the closings for all my videos. Everything on this channel is about exploring, it's about engaging, and it's about inspiring. So whatever that might be, and it happened to be gaming, that's the direction the channel went in more prolifically. I just wanted to get back into gaming. I wanted to find an excuse for it, and I felt that gaming was the perfect opportunity to explore new things, like explore new games and experiences, and just explore that community. I think I'm not in a sprint, you know what I mean? I'm taking this as an endurance run. Engaging is, engaging with the community. I really want to put time into building a good, strong community of followers that interact and engage with me, engage with each other, and make a community out of it. Make it about the experience. So, and that leads us to inspire, and that's big guys like Markiplier, right? He was a big inspiration for me, and things like my vlogs, my road trips, like doing things, just doing things. If you have a dream, go do things to try to achieve these dreams, and be inspirational when you do it, and inspire other people to make these choices. And so that's the last piece of XEI. I dove in to the deep end, and I started my first long form series, which was Dragon Age Origins, and that one was important for me because I love role-playing games, and I love getting into character. I love character development, and this was an opportunity for me to kind of share that with other people through gameplay. Here I am at 100 subscribers. I thank all of you guys for making this happen. Just to get to 100 was a huge thing for me. It was honestly, like, 100 was that first sign, right, of that I could stick to something long enough to see it through. And I love the community that's been built up till this point, and I think it can only get better from here. So I'm very excited about where this is going to go. And I sort of see, when I chose XEI Gaming as the channel name, I was trying to think about, is it meaningful for explore, engage, and inspire? And the way I see even the word gaming, I used a metaphor once at work, which was, I see every obstacle as just another level, right? Another game level. And I see every challenge as just another mini boss, right? And everything in life for me has turned into a game for all intents and purposes. It's just about figuring out how to clear that level, get to the next boss, clear the boss, get to the next level, and just one thing at a time until you get to your final goal, which is the final boss, right? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? And then just explore on your way there. Just engage with people if you need help, or if you want to share your experiences, so that it becomes inspiring, and inspire people with the stories that you got to tell. I've uploaded my 200th video, which was a bit of a surprise to me because I had no idea I was anywhere close to 200 videos. And since January 1st to today, that's not really 200 days, which means that I've on average been able to sustain a daily upload, which is, I didn't think I would hit this until maybe end of August was my projection. I didn't think I'd be able to sustain momentum. So kind of important to me because I feel like I'm ahead of schedule with my own goals for this channel. I don't want YouTube to feel like a second job. I get that you have to be responsible for the channel, like if you want a channel to grow, and you have to respect the community that you you gain. If you want to grow your channel, if you have other goals for your channel, you have to find a rhythm, and you have to find a schedule that works for you, that is a good balance in your life, that you can maintain, that you can't get stressed over. I mean, some things happen and they get stressy, especially at the beginning when you're starting a channel and you're learning the technology, and you have some mishaps that you have to throw away the crap you did for the day, and that's frustrating, but that's all part of like anything you start, right? Any hobby, any sport, anything you start, you have that slow burn start, right? Like you have to kind of understand what you're up against, and you have to have a strategy, and then you just, you'll eventually figure something out that works for you. If you really want it, you're going to figure out a way to include it in your life so that it's sustainable for you and your lifestyles.
Hey-o everybody, XEI here for a Let's Play of Dig or Die. I'm actually going to make it a little harder for myself. What I want to do is create a set of rules that I'm going to try to commit to. The goal here is to play the game in a minimalist style, so the fewest amount of things possible in order to move the game along. One of the rules I'm going to try to live by in this game is to not really set up a permanent base. Not waste those resources on things like turrets, on walls. I've built a spreadsheet. I'm that kind of OCD that lays out what I believe is the fastest way to get through this game. I want to do more than just gaming because I want to inspire that there's, you can have a YouTube channel and it doesn't need to be just this thing. I think people create better channels when they're bringing something to the channel that is personal to them. I feel like I'm losing a bit of what this channel needs to be for me, which is it needs to be me bringing new ideas to the channel as well and exploring other ideas. So we'll see where that takes us, but I have some ideas in play. We can create this together. So that's it. I want to talk about how I've approached games in the last 3 years, because I took so many years off of gaming standalone games, and I want to distinguish that because I played a lot of MMOs, right? It's just basically I went after another, and I got very absorbed in that world, and it's not the same kind of gaming. These standalone narrative driven games there's something very exciting about them that I miss, and I'm 10 years behind in games. That's the point. So I've been creating and keeping up this chronological list of games I want to play. Telltale games. Have you ever loved like something so much without even experience it fully, but you love it? Telltale games is that for me. I feel like everything I've seen from Telltale games, they just look so amazing, and all I've played was maybe I think an hour a bit of Walking Dead. And I got so stressed out and a headache from playing that. Like, man, it was like 4 years ago now, maybe. And I've been wanting to clear that game for ages. I'm kind of terrified to play it, especially on this channel, because I hyper react to to situations of anxiety, and that game created a lot of anxiety for me. So, but I gotta play that. I gotta play the game, and I'm gonna do it on this channel. I have to play that company's games, all of them if I can, on this channel. I'm over committing to things. I get that. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and it pretty much took like 9 months to do Dragon Age Origins. So I think I've gotten faster. I've also learning how to just get in a rhythm of things, and so I hope that changes the dynamic of how content comes to the channel quicker. 1 year ago, January 1st, 2016, I started this channel as a challenge for myself and to see if I could grow something and find something I could put my time into that I could take meaningful value out of. Growing a community, interacting with people online again about things that I love. And I have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised that I was able to hold on and maintain the momentum up until the end of the year. And I say that because I'm the kind of individual that I'm very easily distracted with new projects, and I leave things, I start a lot of things, but I don't finish a lot of things. I mean, when I started doing the gaming videos, I realized this is what needs to be the majority of this channel, because it's also something that was missing in my life, and also something I wanted to bring back to my life. Part of the channel for me is growing a community of people I can interact with, if not daily, then just be able to come somewhere and then exchange thoughts and ideas and grow together as a community. And I love the comment section on this channel, and I hope that that keeps growing regardless of how many people subscribe. What's going around out there right now is the new year, new you thing. I don't adhere to that. I don't believe in that unless you want to use that as the catalyst to starting to live your life in a different way, to creating a new you that you continually reflect on and you continually try to evolve. I don't think you should be assessing your life and assessing yourself one time a year. There are 365 days in the year. Whatever it is that you might want to change in your life, you need to evaluate that as they come and pivot on life and make something happen so that you always create that better you. You always want to achieve a better self. The people who come to this channel, I encourage you guys to try this exercise. I've done it for 5 years now, and it has affected my life. It's changed the way that I approach problems or obstacles or challenges. And so here's the trick. You write a top 10 list, what you'd like to try to achieve. And the reason why I try to stress that, I know there's other lists of like things you want to do. That's a whole other list I could talk about, but this is just stuff you want to try to achieve. And why I mean that is because I value the journey of attaining something, not necessarily the attainment of that thing, but the journey of it, because I think a lot of lessons are learned when you're trying to achieve something. Creating a YouTube channel was one of the things I wanted to achieve for 2016. If you go back in the channel, you'll realize those sport videos were all about me learning the technology, because that was a hurdle for me. How do I even record video games? How do I get the gear to be able to do this, the software to pull it off? And I was okay with doing that while trying to create the channel, because that was the journey. The journey was to try to make that happen. Now, something I stopped doing, which I wish I would have done more of, looking back at it, is I wish I would have done more vlogs that shared that experience of learning how to sustain something like a YouTube channel. It's a small channel, but the point is to create that foundation where you feel comfortable maintaining what you have, so that when you grow, you don't get disoriented, and you don't get, you know what I mean? Like you don't lose the focus, you don't lose that mission statement, you don't lose that stability. Here's what I also encourage people to do, is that if you have goals in life, share them with somebody. I'm sharing them with you guys now, as I said a couple vlogs ago, and this is why I want to maintain something like this with you guys, this kind of rapport with you guys, is because once you share it with people, then there's some accountability for you to try to achieve these things. One of the goals will be, and you've already heard it in past vlogs, I want to bring other stuff to the channel, not just gaming. And so for me to do that, I think is I want to make it 90% gaming, 10% other things. And I don't know what that something else is yet. That's what I'm looking forward to in 2017, to define a little bit more concretely. But I need to have a way for me to share more about myself, so that I can connect with you guys more as an individual and not just the guy that's gaming and dumping content out there. Although I do love the gaming that's happened on this channel. I love the character development and the character analysis that has happened in the games. I love the narrative-driven engines, and there's so many games that I can't wait to play this year that will explore that mission statement further. I didn't have that as refined as I did now, so I'll be updating the about section of this channel to be a little clearer, and I'm looking forward to seeing what 2017 is going to be like. Hey yo everybody, XEI here for a Let's Play of Mass Effect 1. Yes, 1. I want to play Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. I have 2 other playthroughs completed on Mass Effect, but it was 3 years ago. The way I played them is I played them with a concept that I usually use for sci-fi games. It originated in a space opera fantasy role-playing game. His first name is Joshua, so Joshua Coyote Shepard. I like it. I'm going to push forward with this. With the Paragon playthrough, I played him as if he was the best version of the Joshua Coyote. With the Renegade playthrough, I played him with what would have been the worst version of Joshua Coyote. I went into the extremes of Paragon and the extremes of Renegade, so I really didn't feel comfortable moving that character onto Mass Effect 2 for the channel, because I want to set up a sort of Mass Effect canon, if you will, with this character as I jump through the trilogy. I think this is our Joshua Coyote for this playthrough. I've got a nice scar here that either happened through some sort of fight he had in a bar, or some sort of monster he fought on some weird planet, or maybe it was an implant that they had to put into his head after it got demolished and it didn't heal so well. But it's going to be the Mass Effect's Joshua Coyote until there's something better in maybe Mass Effect 2. We've hit 250 subscribers. That's a quarter way to 1,000. That's kind of that when I started this channel last year, January 1st, 2016, in my head I was like, I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers because I have plans for if the channel gets to 1,000 subscribers. I know that's a far ways off. I don't know when that's going to be. Of course, something like getting 1,000 subscribers isn't something that's really reasonable to put on something like a top 10 things I would like to try to achieve, although me just releasing content on the channel is me trying to achieve that, but that's not something I can really say with too much certainty. I'm kind of running a channel here that's not a primary focus for me. It's not a full-time job. I don't intend for it to be, but I do want to give it the respect that it deserves because you guys are putting the time into this channel, watching the stuff, commenting, and I feel like I need to respect your guys' time by respecting the channel. So anyways, that's out of the way. Thank you so much for helping me get here. It's such a personal goal for me to have committed to this for a year so far, and I hope that I can pull this off for another year. Hey yo everybody, XEI here for a Let's Play of Dragon Age Origins Awakening. I'm very nervous, so nervous that I actually got like my throat, I feel like I swallowed a rock. We're going to import from another module. I'm going to hope. There's all the characters we just did runs for, prologue runs for. I look foolish in that helmet. Okay, we're just going to get this thing started. Xander, is that you? It is you, Xander. How about we don't do this foolishness? Xander, you are an archer. You should know better than this. No bueno. Right here, Falcon's Reach. Yay. Okay, I want to bring BioShock to this channel this year. Seems like a little thing. It's not. I have this like aversion right now. Like I get headaches when I play horror games. I don't feel because I'm new to Let's Playing. I'm new to this channel. I'm still trying to find my voice for it. Find that confidence that makes me feel like I'm giving you me. Like anyways, it's hard to explain. I get more. I play more like a. I play worse. Let's just be frank. If you guys think that I miss things now when I'm trying to pay attention, when I get when I got a lot of inputs happening, I can hyper focus, but when I have to react very quickly to things, that hyper focus gets mangled, and then I make mistakes. It could be hilarious. I don't know. I want to get over that hurdle, and I want to bring you guys a horror game onto this channel. And we'll see what happens. I feel like I'm more comfortable now, so that it'll be more genuine. Not even worried about looking fake. I react in ways that I don't know if I want. I want to be reacting like that for you guys to see. But it seems like that's the thing that people do, and a lot of YouTubers got their start by doing horror games and reactions and having those like vivid raw reactions to horror games. You guys have to understand this is a very difficult choice for me, and it's not just about scare. It's not just about getting scared and stuff, although that'll probably happen. I want to be clear, it's more that hyper-focus thing, getting challenged, and me being okay with the mistakes I know I'm going to make when I'm under that kind of distress. The same goes for Walking Dead. I'm not committing that to this year. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know. We'll see how BioShock goes. BioShock has to be the first game of this kind to come to this channel. I won't play Resident Evil 7, don't even ask. Hey yo everybody, XEI here for a vlog, which is actually an audition for the Angel Arts Pokemon tabletop campaign. I've never played the video games, I've never read the manga, never watched the cartoons, never played the card game, but there's something about Angel Art campaigns that made me intrigued because of the points he made about how this game is going to be run. The fact that this is going to be more of a mature storytelling perspective. I've been a GM for the last 20 years off and on. I've rarely been a player, which is also something that makes me want to try out for this. Despite the whole Pokemon thing, that's something you can learn, and this is something I recommend for other people out there too. Don't let the setting ever prevent you from joining a gaming group. Just get out there and try things. The characters make the story, not the setting, right? So don't worry about it. You'll learn that as you go. Witch Hunt. We're going to do Witch Hunt, because I'm looking so forward to Witch Hunt as both a player, because that literally becomes the end of this entire experience. The start of the channel it's baked into Dragon Age, coming, like me learning like how to record Let's Plays, me finding a voice using Dragon Age and Let's Plays, and bringing a bit of an angle to the LP where it's very RP centric, and different people have different definitions of what RP is. I have very strong opinions about RP in video games versus RP in tabletop. I'm going to define it right here. RP for me with video games is getting into the character's mindset, understanding what motivates them, and try to be true to that character's motivations. That alongside of story development, how to create a good story with the character you create in video games. Like, if you understand how story elements come together and form the beginning, middle, end, and you understand that there's certain tricks of the trade for creating a narrative that has that fluidity, has that ability to engage you at very specific points of the narrative. That's what I bring to the RPs. That's what I bring to my characters. I want them to have a beginning, I want them to have a middle, and I want them to have an end. So let's go back to Witch Hunt. That's why Witch Hunt is important for me, because that is the closure. That is the closure I've been waiting for the Xander character. The idea that I've formed that relationship with Morgan, and that it is meaningful for Xander. It might not be meaningful in the traditional sense, but it's a very meaningful connection he had with Morgan, and why he would go after her needs to be explored, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for what Witch Hunt is going to offer. There was the 500th upload last week. It's now at 515 or 513 or something like that. There were 40 uploads in the last 28 days. That gives you an indication of just the momentum that is happening on this channel. I don't feel taxed by it. I don't feel like it's like gonna burn me out. I'm not gonna get burnt out. I think there's some solid sustainability practices, and that's a very kind of like businessy, corporate term thing. This is the way I think about projects, and so hang in there with me. Hey yo everybody, XEI here for a quick vlog. You'll remember a couple weeks ago I auditioned for a Pokemon tabletop RPG campaign that's going to start over on the Angel Arts LP YouTube channel. Just to give you a summary of the character again, I pitched a character by the name of Chase, Imp on the streets. He was pretty much raised on the streets for the last few years. He's a parkour. He runs. He's either running away from something or running towards something. That's pretty much the kind of short of it in my head. He's not really afraid of challenges and obstacles, and he's not afraid of death. So he's willing to take risks that sometimes puts his life in danger. And that leads me to the Pokemon. That's his buddy. So I'll put an image here of the Mimikyu. The Mimikyu I found online. The only reference I can find of it in a show was one episode where the Mimikyu hated Pikachu's guts, and so I took that idea because I know nothing about Pokemon, and I started with the idea of having a Dusk Skull as the Pokemon ally, for the obvious reasons of not afraid of death, blah, 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 blah. And so the Dusk Skull looks like this. And so what Chase did is he found this Mimikyu in a dumpster, he healed it back to health, and then he made a costume for it, and he made a Dusk Skull costume because he wears this hoodie that has this like skull motif on it, so when he zips it up, it looks like I had a Grim Reaper in my head when I was thinking about this. So there's a little bit of a horror angle to the character that I wanted to sort of play out through his personality or through his history. None of that's really defined. I'm going to let the game do that. If it goes any further, I need other things to take my attention now and again. I feel like when I super focus on one game, I don't know what it is. I feel like because like I get ahead on the recording, and then I have a bunch of backlog, and then I'm not going to want that backlog because I want you guys to interact, and I want to be able to like have that conversation, and then I have to not play because I'm waiting for, you know what I mean? So I need other things to do while I'm getting through the backlog and getting you guys caught up. I don't want to get more than 3 or 4 episodes ahead of you guys at any one point with either of those games, because if I'm making a mistake in those kinds of games, I would love for you guys to point them out without spoiling. Like if I make a mistake because I'm just screwing something up because I'm blind, let it happen. It is what it is. You gotta let the blacksmith's daughter die. It's just one of those things. Hey yo everybody, XEI here for a Let's Play of Pokemon trading card game online. This is pretty much blind, but I have done the tutorial levels already a couple days ago just to see what this game was all about. Otherwise, I'm pretty much blind. And when I mean blind, I mean blind to Pokemon. I've just started to look into Pokemon, reading the Bulbapedia, watching some YouTube videos on Pokemon. I'm going to be in a Pokemon tabletop RPG campaign very soon, and so I've never really read anything about Pokemon or played Pokemon or watched the anime for Pokemon. So I'm playing this game because I would like to I'd like to play a trading card game, and this one seems like it's a lightweight one that I can get into pretty quick, and B, I get to learn some of these creatures for when I play the tabletop game. So here we go. The next thing I want to talk about bringing to the channel is board games. I have a poker table over there that I do all the board gaming on. It could be a cool place to do, for example, unboxing of board games, playthroughs of board games, for example. In particular, I buy a couple Kickstarters a year. In particular, board games. I think in the last year or two has been board games, sometimes comics. But I have some still in boxes, and I don't just mean shrink wrap. And I haven't opened them, but I really want to. But I have one literally in a shipping box still, and I want to open this one so bad. I don't even want to say what it is. I'm just going to show it on the channel. That one I'm doing for sure because I want to open the shipping box so bad. From there, we'll see where it goes. For example, doing Let's Play of board game runs. But with twists, like I might give the characters names, like the pawns names, and I might create some sort of narrative behind the pawns, so that just gives us something more fun to engage in inside the comments and stuff like that. Anyways, I've got tons of ideas, man. It's gonna be fun. Hey everybody, XEI here for Let's Play of. Wait for it. Come on, Dragon Age 2, guys. Dragon Age 2. Yes, it's finally on the channel. Yes, I'm finally ready to go. I'm a little nervous. So we got male mage, we got female mage, we got male warrior, rogue. Okay, we're gonna play a rogue. For those of you who have followed my Dragon Age Origins series, the prologue stuff, the last character I played as a tester when I was resetting all the mods, when I was taking them all off the game before playing Awakening, I played a character called Dusk Saltaire. Tobane, I think was his name, inside Origins. It was a city elf rogue. Real quick about Dusk, the reason why I'm playing a human now, it was a half elf originally. It's kind of like a gypsy bard, so like just it's very socially oriented, and I had like a dervish in mind when I made him. He's very fluid in combat, almost swashbucklery, and he's a bit of a treasure hunter. That's the best elevator pitch I can give right now. I'm going to learn how to play this game. Hey everybody, XEI here for Let's Play of Mass Effect 2. Yes, I'm about to get into it. I'm going to go in blind. If you're new here to the channel, I generally enjoy playing games blind, especially these long form games. The same class, because this one was soldier, these two were infiltrators. But we're going to play with this one here. This is the one on the channel, Coyote Shepherd, level 54, and oh boy, here we go. That's why you carry duct tape. It's gonna be one hell of a landing there, Coyote. Well, that intro happened. So what am I doing? And lo and behold, I was hoping that 500 would happen, and it happened on the very 1st of August. So that's halfway to the first kind of major milestone for any YouTuber, really, but mine in particular. When I started this channel, January 1st, 2016, the turn of the year, it was a bit of a New Year's resolution thing. Not resolution, but like this kind of like thing I do every turn of the year where I try to think of 10 things that I would like to try to achieve. Anyways, there's some vlogs down below talking about that kind of stuff. And one of them was to reach 1,000 subscribers with the YouTube channel, and I didn't have an idea of what the channel would be. Like it was going to be a bit of a travel vlog mixed with an art vlog, and then I started gaming because I wanted to experiment with that technology and how to do it. And it's just not the channel was really defined by I just want to do it. I just want to do it, and I'll figure it out as I go. And it was all about the journey, and that's where you get the explore, engage, and inspire thing, slogan behind it all. And it was something really that was put into place so that it would drive me and remind me what I'm doing this for and what I want to achieve for myself and out there. You know, like the community growth in particular, I'm so happy about. Just starting Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 2. I'm seeing new names come up in the comments, and it's just crazy to me that some of you have come from Dragon Age Origins from the very early days, and you're still here. We're like a year and a half into this thing, and some of you lurkers out there, and I'm a lurker, trust me, I know lurkers. You know, you've come out of the lurking state, and now you're commenting as well, and it's like the comment ratio right now on these videos is nuts. And I have to take a step back and appreciate this community as it is right now because of how close that interaction is in the comments. From my perspective, the more meaningful growth for me is that slow boil, but it's consistent, and it grows a community that's solid, and that foundation, man. I love that the idea of the foundation of the community driving the channel. And sometimes, you know, you can get blindsided by the views. First of all, the views don't actually matter. It's the watch time. It's how long you can retain an audience in your videos, how long you can, like, how often you can bring them back and engage in your content and stuff like that. And that takes time. And part of why I think about YouTube this way is because, I mean, for a decade I've been doing things where I analyze numbers and like how to see growth patterns and etc. So it's not turning YouTube into a business, but it just comes down to the fact that to grow a YouTube channel, you need to be honest with what you're trying to achieve, and for you not to be disheartened, as many small YouTube channels are, and it takes effort and time to grow a solid community to back you up and in turn give you that enthusiasm to keep creating back to the community, and then have the community reinvigorate you to create more. And that loop cycle, you need to develop that over time. I have to remember the time where I'm at 500 subscribers, halfway to the 1,000 subscriber mark, because the 1,000 is like the special YouTube number, because there's a known correlation for growth rate when you hit 1,000, because presumably either YouTube starts to position you in better ways so that your discoverability goes up, or psychologically speaking, viewers see a channel with 1,000 subs on it and then they give it more attention, and which in turn creates more watch time, which in turn creates more discoverability opportunities. Anyways, I'm getting very technical, very geeked out here right now because I've been like daily, I do analytics daily just to see growth patterns and make sure that I feel comfortable with the track that this channel is on. I feel like I have a good handle on where I want to take it. It's become very gaming centric, which is okay. I'm not going to give up on the fact that I want the channel to also do other things, but I mean, I feel good about the growth of this channel. I could get very geeky about where the numbers are at and where the analytics are at. I'm going to avoid doing that because I don't, you know, it's not going to be interesting for many people out there, but the numbers are important. As much as people say numbers aren't important and they're not looking at them, you don't have to be ruled by the numbers, but you should be aware of the numbers if you have the goal of growing a channel and getting it somewhere. For me, it was a personal journey of trying to get a channel to 1,000. I'm halfway there, thanks to all of you, who, not just because you got it to 500 subs, but because you encourage me every day to keep going at the pace and the pattern I'm maintaining here based on the numbers that is comfortable for me and that allows me to give back to the community and create that loop, that cycle for all of us. So I'm not going to stop at 1,000. That's just silly talk. I feel like when I get to 1,000, I will have the next idea, and I already have it in my head. I don't want to, you know, jinx myself. The fact that I've gotten a lot more comfortable on this channel. You know, when I started the channel, I thought comfort was just something that's like, I'll just be myself and I'll get right into it. And I'm like, no, I go back to the old videos, like the earliest of the Dragon Age Origins videos, and I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm watching someone else. And then, you know, I remember going back to the Milestone videos for like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and other folks like that, and you can tell the difference there too. And they start one way, and then they get comfortable because I believe because they start generating a community that they can interact with on a more personal level, and so you start developing that camaraderie inside the YouTube channel and the comment streams and stuff like that, and all of that makes the YouTuber more comfortable, and then allows them to be more themselves because they have that foundation again of like the usuals that they can know. These usuals get me. And so even if some loose cannon comes into the threads and starts like trolling and flaming and all that stuff, which it's doing really good. That comment section is pretty friggin' awesome right now, but it's bound to happen, right? It's bound to happen with growth. But anyways, you guys make me feel pretty comfortable with being myself out there, and I feel like I'm going to just pull down some of those extra walls that might have been up. Some of those like the self-confidence walls, they're starting to crumble down, folks. So thank you guys for coming along for this ride. I think I've said that almost every milestone video. I don't want to go back and check, but thank you for coming around, and thank you for motivating me, keeping this goal alive to get to 1,000, and I guess I'll see you there. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's feeling pretty good. I'm just saying the numbers are looking, the ratios are looking pretty good, folks. I'll start reading the Dragon Age novels, the graphic novels and stuff like that, and I'll bring something to the channel that involves the Dragon Age novels. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do this, because I don't want to just do book reviews, but I want to do something sort of unique. And hear me out here, but I'm thinking like not so much a let's read. I'm not going to read a friggin' novel for this channel, like novel on this channel, like for you guys follow along. But I'm thinking of reading like maybe a number of chapters at a time, or a sequence of like a number of pages at a time. I don't know how many of you guys have read the book out there, but that'll get prefaced in these episodes. But the idea will be that I will read a certain chunk of the book, and then I will talk about that chunk, so that I can still have a bit of that engagement of like almost that blind engagement with people who have read the book and want to kind of be in a conversation with someone who's reading the book for the first time. Like, you know, like I used to do this stuff with like buddies in the old days, right? You'd read a book, but then you'd share a book with a dude, and then he'd read it, and then you couldn't wait to get back together with that guy because you want to hear, did you get to that chapter yet? Did you get to that thing yet? What do you think? Right? And I feel like I can't find anything on YouTube like that. And I don't know how to produce something like that. So I feel like I just need to jump into the deep end and try it. Things like video games, that's what this channel is going to be about. I'm also going to expand that to any content that supports video game universes. So comics relating to Mass Effect, comics relating to Dragon Age, comics and books related to Witcher, stuff like that. That's open game for this channel. Board games will come to this channel in some form. I'm working that out. But at the beginning of the year, one of my things I would like to try to do, one of those things on the list is a BioShock 1. I have to clear BioShock 1. That's one, because it's been in my head for so long of wanting to play this game and clear it, that I feel like it had to make that top 10 list for the year. So, well, heyo everybody. XEI here for a Let's Play of BioShock. This is the remastered edition, the one that came out in 2016 for the 2007 game, BioShock. So this game right here, as soon as the remastered came out, I was like, oh, thank you. I can at least play the game and it won't feel old. This right here does not feel like it's from 2007 at all. So I have to make an assumption that this all comes from the remastering. I'm going to go medium. I'm going to trust that some memories of shooters will come back to me. I'm playing Mass Effect, so I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, guys. I'm sure it'll be fine. On the one side, the release schedule is based on a primary series and a secondary series, and I'm trying to block those off in my mind so that when I'm choosing the games I play in parallel, I know that one of them fits the primary mold, one of them fits the secondary mold. That allows me to focus on a primary series, which means at least 4 episodes a week. That's my minimum posting for a primary series. And for a secondary series, I'm hoping that that's at least 3 postings a week. I feel like everything is on a very smooth track now to become consistent on this channel, and it did take some exploration. Thank you for your patience as I worked through that in the last year and a half, 2 years for this channel. It has always been an exploratory experiment, at least at the start, and I'm now creating the foundation of something that I can sustain for myself in my life. I feel like this is the place where I gotta come when I have to escape from the everyday grind and stuff like that. This is where I want to come and spend my time. We just got over 700, and I still feel like the community is as tight as I remember it when it was under 100. I feel like it's still a very positive community. I've only had one troll in 2 years, and I think the one troll happened a year and a half ago. You need to have a thick skin to be able to deal with that kind of stuff, and I do have pretty thick skin. I was actually trained to take criticism, and I give it well. I'm a very open, transparent person when it comes to feedback and stuff like that, both in my job and just anyways. Like, these people don't need to be that mean. And I don't know why I'm saying this, because this channel just literally, it doesn't have that. I thought that there'd be a lot more of that trollery going on, and I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky with the way this community has grown, and I thank you all for that. Even the lurkers out there, I thank you for just being a great group and making it very easy for me to keep going and keep trying to reach that 1,000 goal. I moved the reaction videos from my personal channel to a new channel, and I'm like, one day I'll go back to Rick and Morty and I'll deal with this thing. I'll see what this, like, I'll try it again after I research some more. So I did. I went back to it 5 days ago. I posted again. I posted a new Rick and Morty react, and I started Stranger Things, and it blew up. It blew up, relatively speaking, compared to my 2-year experience with the XEI gaming. It blew up. It got 250 subscribers in the last 5 days. That's not to say I'm all of a sudden going to shift and do reaction videos instead of gaming. Absolutely not. The gaming channel is my primary focus. It's the thing I want to put most of my time into. The reaction videos are something, it's like I have time and I want to watch things again. And so I'm going to start that second community there and have fun doing it. I think it helps organize the way I execute on ideas. It just helps organize the content. And more importantly, I wanted to respect audience interests. And that's something that's not always a driver for YouTube channels. And maybe it's just because of what I do in my day job. It's just how I analyze things. In the digital space, I do analytics, I do competitor assessments, I do marketing strategy, so it's difficult for me to step out of those shoes sometimes. I really try to do that with these channels, but it's very difficult because I've been doing it for so long. And so part of the answer for me is I have to segment my strategies so that the viewers are where they belong. And I believe when the viewers are where they belong, it's a lot more effective for your growth strategy. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole and talk about the whole business side of things, because again, I'm not treating these channels like a business, but I think in that way, you know what I'm saying? I will also say that production efforts have gone up, so it's not like it's not like me splitting my attention on these things actually takes more time, because I don't do these other things unless I can get time back. Also part of the whole thing I do in the day job, blah, blah, blah. But it's like time efficiency and time economy. It's like trying to reduce how long something takes to do, get more optimized so that you can produce more or you can innovate more, etc, 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 etc. And so I did an update on Windows that allowed me to finally get my webcam to work with my capture software. I now have everything syncing into a capture software, which means I've reduced all of that extra effort in post-production while editing videos, which was then, it would take like 3 hours to export a 45-minute video. It's now taken about, I don't know, 30 minutes. So that's a huge savings, because if something's exporting for 3 hours, I can't edit anything else for 2.5 hours, right? So if I can do it in half an hour, it means I get 2.5 hours back, or I can just edit something else. You know what I mean? I don't have to walk away from my computer and waste that part of my day because I'm like, I gotta wait for this thing to export. I can't do anything else. And this year sort of threw off a lot of my goals in that space because of what happened with my dog. Diagnosed with diabetes. It's an untreatable disease. I give him 2 needles a day, 1 in the morning, at night. Then he went blind on me within a 24 to 36 hour period, like a month later. And so I stopped going into the office, for example. I've been working from home almost permanently since June, to help reassimilate him to his surroundings and retrain him to know where I am, how to get food, how to ask to go outside. I have to carry him outside. It's been a weird last 6 months. It's super disruptive to the whole channel, like momentum that I had going on. If you guys are wondering why things kind of got shaky, there's plenty of reasons that happened this year that could have could have taken me off the rails more than they did. So I will attribute it to the community, to be honest. I wanted to have those interactions in the comments the way we've been having, and it just inspired me to keep coming back and do this. So thank you. There's so many games. There's so many games. I don't know what to do. It makes me freeze up sometimes, but then I'm just like, just keep playing what I'm playing. Just keep playing what you just gotta get through it. It's one episode at a time. You'll get through this. What did I add to my chronology list of, by the way, it's up to 57 games. I have a chronology list that's up to 57 games, and I haven't added all the Pokemon games to it that I'm going to be playing. I haven't, anyways, I don't want to talk about it. So that's it. That's the update, and I'm gonna end this here. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace. My heart's even hurting. Like I'm getting a heart pain because I'm getting too excited. So I'm done. Okay, bye, everybody.